Hello, my name is Mike Ward. I'm the Global Director of Content at Informa Pharma Intelligence. I'm here in Cologne at the Bio-Europe meeting, and I've been joined by Jane Dancer, who's the Chief Business Officer of F-Star, which is a Cambridge-based biotech company. So Jane, thanks very much for joining us. So you guys run a really interesting business model where it's almost asset-centric in terms of you have an asset and you almost create new businesses around that asset when you partner it. So we've had F-Star Alpha, F-Star Beta. This summer you did the deal with Denali, which is F-Star Gamma. Could you just sort of recap the headline details of that deal?
Yeah, no, sure, Mike. So we're collaborating with Denali to set up a platform which exploits our technology, our FCABs, for delivering biologics into the CNS through the blood-brain barrier. Right. So we'll work together with Denali to generate the platform, bringing together their particular skills in neurodegenerative disease with our platform capabilities. And as you said, we've housed the collaboration in a new company called F-Star Gamma. Denali have paid $6 million upfront, $6 million that is, and then at a certain point Denali will have the option, or they have an option, to acquire Gamma, and that will give them rights to the platform. If they do the acquisition, there'll be a $450 million aggregate payments back to the shareholders of Gamma, and if they don't, the company will continue as an independent company, and Denali will have rights to license specific programs. So it's a sort of hybrid between an option to acquire and a licensing model.
Okay, so how did that deal sort of come about? I mean, because you guys, you had this platform and you've done sort of various deals. Were you looking for a CNS partner? What did you see, or what did they see?
Yeah, so interestingly, it was Denali that approached us. The actual rationale is one that's well known in the literature, something that we thought a little bit about, but we're not experts in neurodegenerative disease, so we would have needed a strong partner. And we were lucky because Denali contacted us. They recognised that our approach to bispecifics was particularly well suited to this application. We started talking to them, and soon we realised that there was really a very strong potential opportunity here for both of us to leverage our particular capabilities. Yeah.
So if we look at it, I mean, let's talk about actually when Denali first approached you. How long did it take from them first saying, hey, maybe we can do business together, to actually you being able to announce the deal? I mean, what sort of time scale are we looking at?
So we had our first initial sort of interactions just before Christmas. We met at JP Morgan because Denali are based in San Francisco, so that was our face-to-face meeting. And then things moved fairly quickly after that, and as you saw, the deal was announced, I think it was August the 24th. So that was the time it took from the initial approach through to the contract execution. So
it's what, 3 quarters?
Yes.
Okay, and is that sort of the normal speed that you would expect to sort of transact these kinds of deals?
Yes, I mean, again, it depends on the partner. Pharma companies maybe take a little bit longer than biotechs, but yes.
Okay, so they pay you an upfront. Did they come with the targets they were looking for, and then you work out how you would tackle that? How does that work?
Yeah, so very much so. So they're the experts in the field. So they've selected the targets. We'll generate the FCABs against those targets, and they'll be responsible for the testing, the in vivo models, and all of that side. So,
remind us how the F-Star commitment to these new entities. So we've got Alpha, Beta, Gamma. Yeah. I mean, does this mean that you're reducing the size of the parent company every time you do one of these deals because people go off, or how does that work?
No, so that the parent company houses the platform. And also all the capabilities, the infrastructure. So the F-Star employees are all belong to F-Star Biotechnology, the parent company. And as programs are developed, as they become fully formed assets, we can put them into separate companies, but we can continue doing that almost infinitely because
until you get to Zeta, I guess.
Until you get out to Zeta, and then we might have to turn to maybe the Arabic alphabet or something like that. I think the opportunities are, as many targets are tractable with the technology, so virtually limitless. Yeah.
So what was the sort of the boundary? Because of course, Denali is a CNS company. How limited in scope is F-star gamma in application of your technology in the CNS space?
So the deals that we do are licensed sort of on a target-by-target basis. So there's a defined number of targets, 3 targets, which are within the scope of the gamma deal, and everything else, of course, stays outside.
And how much of that has been disclosed to date in terms of what those targets are?
We haven't disclosed what the targets are.
Right, and any idea, presumably as soon as you got some results, that's when we get to learn that. So what's the timeline on us, maybe understanding what those targets are?
I think to a large extent it'll be up to Denali to decide when they want to disclose what the targets are, since they're the ones that hold the option over the asset.
Okay. So, as you mentioned, F-star, this is an approach that you take, and you can do lots and lots of other deals. So it seems that it's like almost like a deal a year that you're doing. So how close will we have to F-star Delta?
We're already thinking about F-star Delta. Yes.
Right. Okay. So that's in the works, and okay, good. So, and you come to a meeting like this to, I guess, showcase your.
Yes, it's a useful way. I mean, at this stage, I think we have good contacts with most of the companies we want to talk to, but it's a fantastic opportunity for updating, for making sure that we know what's happening. There's a lot of change going on, so we keep up to date with developments on their side, and as well as selling. There's also a bit of buying as well. So of course we're always looking for interesting capabilities and things to work with. So it's both.
So do you have a shopping list of what you're looking for that you can tell us about?
Nothing particularly specific, but again, in immuno-oncology, having good syngeneic mouse models and those sorts of things are important. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to be meeting again at the Genesis meeting on December the 1st, where we're going to talk in more detail about the F-star gamma deal and how that came about, and what the sort of the expectations from the various from yourselves and Denali, where we'll deconstruct as a case study. So anybody who wants to understand more about how these deals are created, where the pain points are, and how they're resolved, come along, because we'll be able to have that discussion. So thanks very much, Jane, for coming along.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Mike.
Bye.
Yeah, cheers.